Well, hello everyone. Good morning. Dave Scriven-Young here. I'm an attorney from Chicago, Illinois. And what we're going to be talking about today is why you need to create a Facebook business page. As I mentioned, I'm an attorney, and this is a live recording of the Lawyer Lifestyle Podcast, which is a daily podcast where I talk about marketing, sales, and leadership. Also today, of course, am available in the chat to talk about any legal questions you might have, as well as if you're a young lawyer and you need mentoring, you have questions about something going on in your practice, feel free to enter that in the chat as well. But as we get started and people come on in for today's broadcast, if you want to, in the comments, wherever you are, list for me, where you're from, if you're a lawyer, if you're not, would love to understand more about you and what you're up to. So I'm going to bring a couple more segments of folks in here, start on Instagram as well, and then we'll get started talking about business pages for Facebook and why you may need it, because a lot of people have questions as to, how to use social media when you're a lawyer. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. And we're going to be starting with Facebook fan pages and Facebook business pages and why you may need it, even if you're not a solo attorney. That's a good question, right? If you're a firm attorney, you're from a firm with 10 or more attorneys, do you need a Facebook fan page or business page? That's what we're going to be talking about today. So let me turn on the Instagram here, and we will get started. So good morning to all. So good morning. We're going to talk about why you need to create a Facebook fan page or business page, even if you're not a solo attorney. So hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Lawyer Lifestyle Podcast. My name is Dave Scriven-Young, an attorney from Chicago, Illinois, and I'll be your host. This podcast takes you on a daily journey to discover key principles in the areas of marketing, sales, and leadership for attorneys. As a reminder, I go out every day live at 8 a.m. Central on social media. I'm at Attorney DSY to discuss the material for today, answer any legal questions you might have, and to mentor young attorneys. I hope you enjoy today's discussion. So I just want to say good morning to everyone on all of the various pages I'm on. I see Day is on Instagram. Good morning. And I'm also on, I'm obviously on my Facebook business page, as well as the Lawyers Emotional Intelligence Facebook page, also on Twitter at Attorney DSY, and also on YouTube and Twitch. So good morning to all. So we're going through Gary Vaynerchuk's book, Crushing It. And we're going to talk about, why you need to create a Facebook business page. What Gary Vaynerchuk says is the very first step to building your personal brand. Everyone has to start there. And why is that? People think that Facebook is just for a certain demographic, maybe people aged 30 and up. But to me, it's a myth based on my own experience. Everyone everyone basically, 10 and up, for the most part, is on Facebook. I think about sort of like my kids' friends who are in high school, and actually kids younger. My youngest son is going to be a freshman in high school this year. Some of his friends actually are on Facebook, which shocked me because again, it's a myth that most people that are on Facebook are older. It's trending older, but I don't think it's true, and it's because of the connection aspect of it. People want to not only showcase themselves through their personal page, but they also want to stay connected to their friends. And it's fascinating because even I have Facebook friends who are people that I went to grade school with, and you're probably the same way, right? But there are people that you've maybe lost touch with over the years, and it's because you didn't really have a medium to do that. Yeah, you could have picked up the phone and called all of your friends from grade school, but you weren't going to do that. You stay in touch with basically your immediate friend group, and then as you went to high school, a little less, and then college a little less, right? And maybe if you had a really great close friend in grade school. Maybe you're still friends with them, but typically not. But now people who are in grade school and in middle school are actually joining Facebook to connect with their friends, and their friends list is just going to grow immensely over time. So that's the personal side of Facebook. And so if you have a business, if you're a lawyer, any type of business, and you want to talk to people, Facebook is where it is. So it's really the cost of entry, if you will, to begin your personal brand. If you're going to start a business, whatever you're going to do, um, a Facebook business page is where it's at. So, as I said in past episodes, Gary Vee basically goes through case studies of people who have used the platforms and examples of what he's talking about. So, the example for today is a business called Costa Oil. It's a 10-minute oil change place. After the owner of this establishment got fired from his corporate job, he ended up buying this, quick oil change facility, just not because he was passionate about it, but because he figured, well, everyone needs to get their oil changed. It's sort of like a commodity, like a utility. Everyone needs it. So it was a great business. But he started with sort of like the traditional advertising route, traditional print advertising, commercials, a website, SEO, and he didn't really feel like, and he wasn't getting a lot of traction. He wasn't getting people in the door, but everything changed after he went all in on Facebook. So 100% of his marketing budget went into ads. He started doing social engagement, creating great content. And what I thought was most interesting to me, and perhaps most practical for attorneys, is that he put out videos talking about what he does. So he talked about, the different types of oil. He talks about when to get your engine flushed, what an air filter does. Now, why would he do that? And if you think about and I'm not a car nut. I'm a total novice when I go into a car dealership or, go to get my car serviced. I always feel like I'm taken advantage of, always, because I have no idea what any of it means. I don't know what it means. I mean, I know generally an air filter filters the air in your car, but that's just because that's what the name of it is, right? But I don't understand a lot of things that happen at the dealership and getting my car serviced, right? What this does, it actually explains to you, you know, if he put out videos that said, here's an air filter, here's what it does, here's when you should get it changed, here's not when you should get it changed, and here are the questions that you should ask your mechanic if he's suggesting that you get your air filter changed. That would be a game changer for anyone going to get their car service who don't know anything about cars, right? About the mechanics of cars. I mean, yeah, I know how to turn on the radio. I know how to drive, but I don't know, the mechanics, the nitty gritty about when you take your car serviced and what happens and what questions you should ask. So I think lawyers can learn a lot about that. Yeah, I mean, people don't need to know. You're not training them to do your job, but you're training them to ask the type of questions that they need to be asked, and they need to be educated enough so when they walk into your doors, they know the right questions to ask, and they don't feel uncomfortable with the process. Because, yeah, I mean, we went to law school for 3 years and we practice every day, and it's called a practice because we learn as we do. And so people have there's a lot of myths out there about hiring an attorney and what attorneys do. There's a lot of things that people don't understand. And if you could educate them, they'll be more comfortable calling you. They'll be more comfortable walking through it. If you think about it, for the most part, for me, I wait to the last minute to get my car serviced. I know that's not right. That's probably bad for my car. But I do that. Same thing with going to the dentist, although that's probably for other reasons, right? Um, but yeah, and that's exactly what you don't want people to do. You don't want people to wait to come into your office, right? You want them to pick up the phone and call you, to be comfortable enough to do that. And people don't, because they're not educated enough, because they're scared. They don't understand it's a complex process. They think it's going to be expensive and take forever. And so they don't do it, or they wait until the last minute. If you could educate them, if you can train them on what questions to ask and to be comfortable walking in, then it's going to be, you're going to do wonders, I think, for your business and for your clients. So here, the question is, at the end of the day, why do lawyers need a Facebook business page? And I'm talking not necessarily, well, your firm does need a Facebook business page, but I'm talking to you, the individual lawyer watching this show or listening to the podcast of this show. Why do you need a Facebook business page? Because the firm probably has one already, right? And it doesn't matter. It could be a solo law firm. It could be a mid-sized firm. It could be a large firm. But all firms need one. But do you individually need one? And yes, I think the answer is absolutely yes. It's the cost of doing business. If you want to build your personal brand, and I hope I've explained to you why that's important. I hope I've convinced you why that's important. You have to build your brand, and a Facebook business page is why. And just remember that we're building a personal brand around your passion, not necessarily around a legal passion, right? Meaning you're not necessarily building your brand around your legal practice. You may be building your personal brand around, again, it could be anything. It could be cooking. It could be government, it could be restaurants, it could be Disney, it could be whatever you want your personal brand to be, whatever you're passionate about. People are going to come to you for your knowledge about that, and then see that you're a lawyer and then want to do business with you in that respect as well. We've talked about that process many, many times on this podcast. So whether or not your personal brand is going to be law related or it's going to be something else, you need a personal page because it's an asset that you can take wherever you go. Meaning, if you decide to go to another firm, if you decide to stop being a lawyer and do something else, if you decide to make your personal brand your business, you can take that Facebook business page with you. If you decide to stay at your firm forever, which is wonderful, that's still an asset that you're going to keep with you, and it's going to grow with you over time. So I hope I've convinced you that having a Facebook business page is something that's extremely important to build your personal brand. And so what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you my personal or my business page for Facebook. On Instagram, it's going to be a little difficult. So in order to follow along, you're going to want to go to facebook.com/attorneydsy. That's where my business page is. And for those of you watching on the other platforms, this should show up because I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go to Facebook, and hopefully that'll show. Let's see. This should show my business page. Okay. So as you can see, and I'll explain to everyone who's listening online on the podcast and also those of you on Instagram, and this is such a powerful tool if you think about all the things that can go on here. And I'm just going to go through this really quickly. But there's a place, so if you just look along the left-hand side of this business page, so as you can see, there's plenty of places to put pictures. My name is on there. And so, of course, the picture, there's a smaller picture of me as a sort of like my headshot. That's my firm picture. And then there's also a background page that shows me speaking to the general construction industry speaking engagement that I had to a lot of construction clients. So that's a great way to showcase that, yes, I'm professional and that I can speak. I know what I'm talking about. You can do that just through those two pictures. But along the sides here, you can do the home page just shows your general page. Then posts, we'll go through posts and what you should be posting about. Any jobs that you have, if you're looking for people to do things for you. Events are so powerful. One of the events that I do weekly is the Lawyers Emotional Intelligence book club, which goes live every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central. I have a guest on. We talk about emotional intelligence skills. This Wednesday, we're going to be talking about technology overload. And I understand the irony of that, that, social media can overwhelm you, but that is because everyone's on it and you're building such a big following. So anyway, events are great. Reviews are so powerful where if you can get past clients or people you've worked with in the past to give you a review on your business page, that's awesome for people to look at. Videos are so important. So like the video that I'm doing right now is something that you could do for your practice, for your business, for your passion, whatever that is. You could do videos about it. Obviously, photos are very powerful and exciting for people to look at, and that could be about anything. Your family. It could be about what you do in your business. It could be, if you have a physical building, that's great too. And then anything you do in the community, because people love to follow along and see what you're up to. There's an about page that shows that you can give a little description about who you are, some social media. And as you can see, there's a lot that I need to do on this page. And I'm going to build this out a little bit more as well. But it's just such a great tool. Then there's a community tab where it shows people who follow you. And then also you can create a group to build a community around your page. So again, if you are a lawyer who is interested in Star Trek, that is a group that you could build. Star Trek fans who are lawyers, right? It's a niche thing, or it could be anything. West Wing fans who are lawyers. It could be whatever your subject is that you're passionate about. That's what you want to create a group around. And then any offers that you have. So you can post discounts, you can post, if you're doing physical products, whatever services you have, this is a great tool as well. And then obviously there's lots of Facebook ads that you can do as well. But, right now we're going to start very small. We're going to start, just building out our business page. And here's the way to do it, by the way. So let me stop sharing this tab, and let me go back and share the next tab that I have, which is, so I'm just going to go to my home page for my business page. Sorry, for my personal page. Sorry about that. And it's so easy to do this. So this is my page, my personal page. When you go, you see your name. So this is on the very top right-hand corner of your Facebook screen. It'll have your first name, it'll say home, and then it'll say create. All you have to do is hit on that create page, and it comes down where you can create another page. You can do an ad, a group, event, marketplace listing where you're selling things. You can start a fundraiser. All you have to do, it's just so easy, guys, is hit that create the page. It brings you to create a page. You can do a business or a brand or a community or public figure. And again, this is completely up to you, whether you want to do a business page or a community or a public figure page. You're probably going to be a business or a brand. That's the way that I've started mine. But choose one, press get started. You name your page, you write in what category it is, and then you're off to the races. Then you fill out your page. And so this is just so important. This is the very first step to creating your personal brand. And we talk, if you need to be convinced as to why you need a personal brand and why that's so important, especially for lawyers, go back to several episodes in the past of the Lawyer Lifestyle Podcast. I explained it all, but this is going to be your first step. So for your daily action item today, I want you to create your Facebook page, your business page. Now, if you don't have a personal page, create your personal page as well. But then go ahead and create your business page based on the passion that you have, based on the personal brand that you want. Now, everyone's brand is going to be different. And we talked about why that is, because everyone's passion is different. Mine is, marketing, sales, and leadership, rainmaking, but being well, having your well-being in mind while doing it. That's sort of my brand. What is your brand? And I want you to as step one today, build out your personal Facebook page, but then also build out your Facebook fan or business page. So hope everyone has a really great day today. Hope everyone's excited about building their personal brand, building their Facebook page, and we'll talk about other platforms as well as we go along. So I hope everyone is well. Hope. Let me just stop this. Yeah, here we go. Hope everyone has a really great day today, and I will see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Central once again for the Lawyer Lifestyle Podcast. Take care, everyone.